Good morning, Professor. I'm Deepak Palepalli, and I'm going to talk about the storage gardening using the virtualization layer for the efficient defragmentation in the WAFL file system. Coming to the introduction, the storage gardening technique is introduced to leverage the virtualization, which manages the fragmentation and its various forms. The storage gardening technique leverages the flex volume virtualization. So in the WAFL file system, the WAFL is also known as the write anywhere file layout. Overview of file system, which is an enterprise grade file system, which uses the copy on write COW mechanism, making the different types of fragmentation. So the fragmentation may affect file system performance, like the hard disk drives and the solid state drives, which affects in their performance degradation. The overview of WAFL write anywhere file system is say it's that the file system layout, transaction model, consistency points. So the file system layout says that the WAFL file system persists the tree of whole kibibytes of block with the data structure, which may include the data of the file stored and the metadata and any data in the files. So the transaction model explains the WAFL, which uses a copy on write mechanism, and it never overrides the persisting blocks in the place. So the consistency point says that the WAFL file system collects all the flushes from the result of the operation, such as the atomic transactions called as consistency points. It creates the point in time and images of the file system. So WAFL file system, so in WAFL file system, it says that the enterprise grade uses the cow file system. It is subject to free space, file layout, and intra-block fragmentation. So the advantages of using WAFL file system approach is that it is very efficient in physical relocation of the data with minimal metadata updates. We get only less updates when compared to the other data. So it allows to relocate from one block to another block in the snapshot. The in the file defragmentation in WAFL file system says that the techniques and strategies. The WAFL file system tags the fragmented file of blocks as its break 30. It relocates them and the consistency point without creating any new virtual VVN. So using the fake dirty buffer, the fake dirty buffer ensures that they relocate the blocks and do not divert from any snapshots. It maintains the efficiency in the various technologies. So there are three types of fragmentation: file free-space fragmentation, file layout fragmentation, and intra-block fragmentation. So the free space fragmentation occurs when the free space is coming across the storage and making it difficult to allocate contiguous blocks for new data. So the file system fragmentation occurs when the blocks of a file are not stored in a sequential manner. So it results in the scattered data block across all the storage. The intra-block fragmentation occurs when the sub-blocks within the blocks are freed at different times, leading to wastage of free space. So these are the three types of fragmentation. A detailed explanation for free space fragmentation is that the free space fragmentation refers to the fragmentation which is available for the storage of space, which result in the normal file system operations, which may be like the file creation, the file deletion, and the file resizing. So it causes common operations such as file creation, file resizing, and the file deletion, which may also lead to the fragmentation. So by reducing the contiguous physical allocation, the file system writes the throughput and it lowers the file system throughput. The impact on write throughput and read performance says that the fragmentation is limited to the system's ability and it lay out the logical sequential data, which impacts the both read and write performance from the free space fragmentation. Another type of fragmentation is that file layout fragmentation. The file layout fragmentation in WAFL system is only occurred when the operations like creation of files and the reducing the sizes of the file and the deleting any existent file, which may lead to the contiguous storage of file blocks. It may also cause them with non-contiguous over long period. The causes of file layout fragmentation is that the file layout fragmentation results from random overrides and deletions of any existing files, scattering the file blocks across the storage. The impact on read performance says that the fragmented files require more drive input-output sequential read, increases the overhead, and it also decreases the performance of the state performance. So another type is intra-block fragmentation. Intra-block fragmentation only occurs when the size of the file does not perfectly align when the block size of the file size, leading to the unused space within allocated blocks. So it causes the fragmentation because of the subblock granularly addressing the comparison and it has wasting the free space within the many blocks. The subblock compaction says that the WAFL compacts multiple block chunks into single blocks, reducing intra-block fragmentation. What are the impact of fragmentation is that it affects the hard disk drives and the solid state drives performance. It lowers the speed. The performance on hard disk drives will be slower and the seek time will increase. As the performance of hard disk drives will be slower, the performance of the solid state drives will also be downgraded while the fragmentation is occurring, and this may impact performance and will be the minimal fragmentation. So defragmentation techniques, there are three types of defragmentation techniques. Storage gardening approach, use of virtualization layer, relocation of blocks. Coming to the storage gardening approach, WAFL file system uses the storage gardening technique to address the fragmentation of for the virtualization layer, which can relocate the blob efficiently. The virtualization layer allows the WAFL file system to update the minimum data while relocating blocks. It also improves the defragmentation's efficiency. So relocation of blocks includes the read-only snapshots and are relocated to reduce the fragmentation. So this helps in the reducing the fragmentation. So flex volume and aggregate says that the WAFL file system aggregates or collection of physical storage that has the multiple virtualization file systems. It consists of the flex volume. The benefit of using the virtualization is that the flexible volumes provides a virtual to physical address mapping, simplifies the blocks, and it reallocates easily and it improves the defragmentation. So mapping from virtual to physical address is very easy, and the relocation of the blocks are very simple, and it also improves the defragmentation and its performance. Storage virtualization benefits says that it allows the defragmentation even if the read-only snapshots are maximum. The efficient blocks with minimal metadata upgrades. We have the very less metadata upgrades compared to the other data. It also enables the performance and optimization of the techniques like storage, making sure faster access to frequently used the data. So the performance may be increased and when the storage is very less and the frequently data used will be accessible very fast and quicker. The evaluation of a WAFL system. The evaluation section provides the context of WAFL defragmentation techniques and explores their trade-off across the various configurations. So coming to the performance metric, the detailed performance, the, the performance metrics demonstrates the impact of defragmentation and how the different storage media type, the free space defragmentation evaluation result in how it shows the significant performance improvements on hard disk drive system and the mixed media systems with varied impact on all SSD systems, which is solid state drive systems. So the evaluation results, it improves the hard disk drives when the trace is defragmented and the performance will be improved. So the defragmentation improves while chain length and reduce parity read, benefiting all system performance. When the fragmentation is defragmented and the space is less and there are many free space, it improves the write chain lengths and it reduces the read beneficiary, making sure all the existing performance can be improved. File layout defragmentation evaluation. So it impacts the read performance. So the file defragmentation improves the sequential read performance by the increasing read chain lengths and reducing the write length. When the defragmentation improves, it increases the read chain lengths and it also decreases the drive of input output devices. So sequential read and write test says that it tests and demonstrates the reduce of the latency and increase the throughput for defragmented file layout. So it says that it demonstrates how the latency can be reduced and the throughput for the defragmented file layouts can be improved and performance can be improved. So performance and defragmentation, it affects the modification on copy on write file system. So the modification in any copy on write file system leads to the fragmentation file system and the file layout for free space. When the modification in the file system is occur, there will be a lot of free space, making them the defragmentation so that performance can be improved. Trade-off and defragmentation. So defragmentation improves the performance but includes the CPU and input output overhead. Once once when the defragmentation is occurred and performance is better, the CPU and input output devices will be having the overhead so that we have to balance using the storage media type. So there's type of media storage type which can balance both defragmentation's performance and without occurring any CPU and input output overheads. Coming to the performance analysis, so there will be a significant improvement in data layout metrics. The performance in the data layout will be increased. The performance in the hard disk drives and the mixed media based systems improves well it has been defragmented. So negative impact on all SSDs are under high load. So there will be a negative impact on all the solid state drive systems which are considered as the very high load. The performance evaluation in hard disk drive systems signifies the performance improvement of hard disk drives based on the system. When the defragmentation happens, the hard disk drives related systems which have free space can improve their performance when the write output and read performance are improved because of the defragmentation of virtualization. So better data layout and reduced operating systems. When the defragmentation occurs, the file system will have more free space and it helps in the data layout and it reduces the input output operations. So performance evaluation in solid state system says that it has a mixed results for solid system based systems. It improves the data layout metrics, but CPU and CPU and input output overhead sometimes overweight benefits. So when there is a frequently defragmentation up happens, so the data layout metrics will be benefited and the input output and CPU overhead may occur and because of the overweighted it is sometimes a benefit. It benefits under the low load conditions. It has a very low load so that the performance can improve. Compaction and decompaction evaluation, the storage saving and the performance impact. Sub-block compaction provides a significant storage by saving the performance cost and the wasted space. When the performance cost and space wastage is less, the sub-block compaction provides the storage and the recompaction will also reclaim the wasted space and related the performance of its source. The client workload interference recompaction occurs the overhead and impacting the client overload latency and CPU utilization. So the recompaction it occurred when the overhead occurs and it impacts the client workload and the according to the utilization of CPU. The related work of this WAFL file system says that it compares with other file systems. The WAFL file system defragmentation technique is compared with the other file system having the highlights of WAFL file system innovation, which is related to the WAFL file system. The innovation and the contribution of WAFL storage gardening technique leverages the virtualization for efficient defragmentation, which set apart from the traditional method. So the innovation involved in the WAFL file system is very much contributed to the storage gardening technique, which leverages the virtualization for the efficient defragmentation and it sets apart from the traditional method. So the conclusion says that the WAFL Virtualization layer, it enhances the defragmentation efficiency. So once once when the storage space is less and the defragmentation occurs, the WAFL file system virtualization has a very good efficiency, making the performance better and better. So the performance on hard disk drive and media mixed system will be improved based on the performance. The careful configuration require SSD systems. So the technique applicable to other copy on copy and write file systems like ZFS, BTRFS are the techniques which are applicable for using of copy on write file systems. So when the significant performance of the hard disk drive is done, then because of the free space and defragmentation, it is very useful for any client to use the virtualization. So WAFL's file system defragmentation technique significantly improves the data layout and the performance. Once when the defragmentation happens and the free space occurs, the WAFL's technique improves the data layout and the performance inside. So it also describes the best practice for defragmentation. It enterprises the great file system. So when the defragmentation techniques is improved due to the WAFL defragmentation technique, which is basically used for the improvement of data layout and the performance. Thank you.